What's going on? What's going on? We are live. My camera is frozen. What the fuck? Let me deactivate that and reactivate it. Yo, it's working this time. It's working this time. It was just frozen, man. Like, come on, dude.
Never fails.
It was working. It was just frozen, man. Just
my
frozen.
camera's zoomed in. I feel like my camera is zoomed in. Like I'm like way bigger than usual. I feel like.
Don't worry about it, dude. Don't worry about it. I think it's just because here. Let me see. You know what it is? No. You just messed up. You mother. That's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, there we go. See.
Yeah, but now I gotta refix your green screen ish. I could have just.
Oh.
It's cool, dude. It's cool.
I get what you're saying. You're saying you could adjust me. Yeah. I got you.
It's
I didn't
cool,
think
dude.
about that.
You just do whatever you want, man. You know, you're in charge, dude.
Perfect. Sounds good. This is the OMG It's Codations channel.
What's up, guys? We are live. We are live. How's everybody doing? Banana says first in the chat. Hey, Banana. How are you doing tonight, man? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing?
Banana 212TH.
I've been drinking coffee.
Coffee. You're on like coffee? I've got some sparkling ice, which is caffeinated water, so no sugar.
Actually, what I'm drinking is I kind of treated myself tonight. I don't, you know, you guys see I normally drink water and stuff, but I'm drinking this it's Coca-Cola infused with coffee. Caramel.
Yeah, this is what you told me about this on one of your other streams. Like you said you were trying it out and you said you thought it was
pretty good. Yeah. So I got another one tonight.
Interesting. How much caffeine is in that bad boy?
Oh shit, you know, I don't let me see.
Maybe check it out. I'm curious though, because I haven't tried them.
They're pretty good. I mean, they're you know, it's only 70 calories in a can, so I don't think it's a ton of pop. Like I think it's pretty. Where the fuck does it tell? Does it tell?
It's just an interesting combination. Coca-Cola and coffee. Interesting.
69 milligrams. So probably like.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Like half of a cup of coffee, like a normal cup of coffee, or.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yep. Well, 90. So they claim like your standard Folgers, you know, your regular Folgers has got 90 milligrams and 8 ounces of water.
Okay.
So about 1 cup of coffee is about 90 milligrams of caffeine.
So this is 69.
Yep,
Nice.
exactly. And that's what somebody did it on purpose. This is sparkling ice, which is just a sparkling water, but it's 0 sugar and it's got caffeine in it and it's flavored. It's cherry vanilla flavor.
Nice.
But it's got 70 milligrams of caffeine as well. So I'm right in the same realm as you are.
I don't normally do a lot of caffeine. I normally have 1 cup of coffee in the morning, and then I'll you know, most stream days, I'll have a 2nd cup in the afternoon. You know, when I'm starting my stream, just kind of as a little pick me up. On non-stream days, I just have normally the 1 in the morning. Sometimes, every once in a while, I'll have 2 in the morning, and then that's all the caffeine I normally have in a day. I'm not a big caffeine person. If I drink too much of it, I get the fucking jitters and shit and all that.
Yep. Oh,
Yuki says there is a ghost behind Cody. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, they're right there. It's cutting through on my. It looks like it's cutting through on my screen. See it?
Wait, that's kind of weird. How's that doing that over your shoulder?
Don't know because the green
says a ghost.
It is a ghost.
Oh, you know what?
I don't know.
Hold on. I think that might actually. That's actually my screen. Because I've never adjusted this one. Oh, hold on, that's not.
Oh, that's your screen peeking into. So. Okay, gotcha.
On the one side. There we go. Yuki says, "I knew it." Rolling on 4 laughing. Hey, Yuki, how are you doing tonight, my dear? How are you doing? How you doing?
Oh yeah. No, man. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place with caffeine. I try not to drink it on a daily basis. I normally try to, every couple of days or whatever, but I do dabble a lot in the high caffeinated drinks. You know what I mean? Like those zero sugar, like energy drinks where you can get into, some of the ones you buy from like GNC and stuff where they don't have all the super terrible bad shit for your body. Sometimes I try to mess around with those and see how they are, but they're super expensive. They're like, $5 and $6 for a freaking 12-ounce can. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't do it too much. Like I said, I normally a cup of coffee is good for me for the day. I normally have pretty good energy throughout the whole day anyways.
Yeah.
Like I said, stream days I'll have a cup before stream too, just because it gives me that kind of
bit of oomph,
little boost of getting into like the stream and kind of getting my mood up. Because if I'm working all day, I'm kind of like it's time to stream and I'm just like, oh my god, I've been sitting all day, so it helps with that. Yuki says I'm doing great. How are you guys? I am doing fantastic, man. Can't complain. It's Sunday, which means lazy day for me and the fam. So we went to the family for dinners. We hung out, chilled, relaxed, had some food. Got home, chilled, relaxed. Now doing this.
Very cool. Yeah, I know. Sundays are normally our relaxed days too, but yeah, man, this weekend's been crazy. Well, actually, so last weekend, this weekend, next weekend, and then the following weekend. So 4 weekends in a row. I'm slam busy. So basically, Friday night, we got everything ready to go. Got the kid, ready. The wife left out of town on Friday. I did a live stream on Friday, which was wonderful, by the way. And then after that, I got up on Saturday morning. I want to say about 4:20. Yeah, 4:20 a.m. And
nice.
drove 45 minutes, loaded my dog up, drove 45 minutes to my in-laws out at the farm, and then pretty much butchered the 3 cows we had, or started butchering them from like 6 a.m., 6:30 to about 6:30, 7 o'clock-ish at night on Saturday. So I was pretty much pooped, and then hung out with all my my 2 brother-in-laws, their families, their kids, hung out with all of them until about 12 o'clock at night on Saturday, after butchering all day long. And then Sunday pretty much just hung out with them. Some of them are out of town, so we hung out with them all Sunday, stayed the night at my in-laws place, and then then I drove home about 1, 2 o'clock-ish and, pick shit up around the house and get everything ready to go for the week. And then now we're on podcast. So yeah. Nice, and that's going to be my life. That's going to be my life for the next 2 more weekends. We've got more cows next weekend and then pigs the following weekend. And then we're done for the year.
I have I don't know if it was you I was telling or maybe it was just chat during one of my live streams, but we had a couple friends over. We haven't really hung out with any of our friends since COVID started. We'd hung out with our personal family still, our parents, my wife's, but we hadn't really hung out with any friends since this whole COVID shit started. Well, now that it's starting, we're getting warmer weather here in Ohio. We had a cookout the other day with my best friend and her husband. And they have a son the same age as mine, and they brought over steaks, and they do cows. They have a farm, so they had just butchered their cows. Oh man, so they brought over some T-bones from their cows. Oh man, they were so good. I grilled them up, dude. Oh, they were so good. Hokage in the chat says, "What's good?" Yo, Hokage, how you doing tonight? How are you doing tonight, dude? Hokage. Good to see you. Hokage, yo.
Cool.
Hokage, yo.
No, dude. Yeah, no, you can tell the difference, man. You can absolutely tell the difference in the quality of meat, man. I mean, you buy something from the store for so long, and then you try something, just freshly butchered. You know what I mean? Brought, slapped it on the grill or whatever. You can tell a massive difference in the quality.
Oh yeah. It was, and it's weird because, like, I don't know anybody in the chat maybe or anything. But like you get some of this stuff from like my friends, they also do pigs and stuff as well and chicken.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get the food and it looks so different from the normal when you're not used to it. Like when I first started getting that kind of food, it kind of freaked me out because I'm like, oh, this looks weird. It looks like, because it just doesn't look like all that shit that you get from the grocery store, but then you fucking eat it.
Because there's no preservatives or color or anything put into it. Yeah, I mean, you're getting literally the freshest as it can be. And one of the things I'm gonna tell you right now, fresh ground beef is not rosy red that you get at Walmart.
Oh yeah, I know.
It is not that color red. You know what I mean? So there's a massive difference, like you said, visually. Even pork, dude. You bust open a thing of pork, like it's almost brown and green, you know what I mean, compared to that, almost see-through, light pink color, compared to what you get in the store. It's completely different. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. It kind of freaks you out at first because you're just like, this does not look like what I've been eating my whole life. But, if you're used to buying store stuff. But then once you get past that, oh, it's so good. Hokage says, did you see my meme? I did not. I somehow missed it, but I just read it, and it cracked me up. That's what I was just laughing about. Hokage put in the Discord, a meme channel. It says, Derek and Cody talking about literally anything on the podcast. Me. And then it has a picture like of a doofus-looking anime character in like the Hokage hat and stuff. And it says, you like anime?
That's definitely an area.
That's definitely Hokage.
That's too funny.
All right, I know we got a couple people in here now. Yuki was in here, Banana. We got Hokage in here. I don't know. I know we got a couple regulars. Princess normally drops in on the podcast. I know she's not here yet, but at the same time, we don't want to wait too long. So we'll dive in and as people fill in, they'll either hear it or they'll have to listen to it later or whatever. Kage says it's the Barry from the B movie. Oh, that's why it looks familiar. I didn't realize that at first. But yeah, it totally is Barry from the B movie. All right. So let's go ahead and jump in, guys. This is not Alex says I am here, but training, so not active in chat, but have a good one, guys. All right, Alex. Thanks for the support, man. He was helping us last night on Valheim. We killed the fourth boss. And then we got all the materials and the gear ready to fight the fifth boss, which I think we're doing Tuesday stream.
Oh, so very cool. Hell yeah.
Yep. So he's been a good asset to the stream. to the not just the stream, but the server.
Valheim server.
Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. So guys, this will not be a super long podcast. So I think I kind of mentioned it in the last two streams of mine that we had an announcement to make tonight regarding the podcast and stuff. I know a lot of people were instantly like, "Oh, you guys are canceling it." No, I said that in the stream. We are not canceling it. We are still doing it, but there are some changes coming. The biggest one that's going to affect most of you watching now, most of the regulars, just to kind of dive right in, and we are open to feedback and stuff, but the first kind of like, the thing, I think the biggest thing, I guess, is that we are no longer going to be doing the podcast live.
Yeah.
So we've been doing them live. I think this is, if you count today, this is like our 16th or 17th episode of the podcast. We've been doing them live on Sunday nights. We are going to stop doing that. We are still doing the podcast. They will not be in video form. They will be in audio form, I believe, going forward. And it'll only be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, kind of all the normal podcast platforms. The reason for this, I guess, I'll kind of let maybe Cody explain a little bit of it, but the reasoning behind why we're doing this. Real quick, though, before he does that, Ryan says, Pax, can I get my finger back, please? Pax ain't even in here. What? This is Codations. This ain't Pax. Have you ever been to one of our podcasts, Ryan? And the answer is yes. So the answer is what? All right, go ahead, Cody.
That's too funny. Yeah, I mean, so everybody that's currently listening right now, I mean, one of the biggest things or challenges that me and Derek have faced since day one doing podcasts, live specifically, is just the fact that both of our times are limited. We're super busy doing everything else. But the other thing is actually finding the time that works well with both of our schedules to sit down and to entertain you guys, as well as, continue to stay on topic with the podcast stuff. So we've pretty much just came to the decision together what works best for each one of us, and we've kind of just landed on having the ability to record the audio, at any time that works best for us. Together, whether that being Sunday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, whatever worked best for us. It just makes it 10 times easier for us to record that. It allows us to also stay more consistent with that. And then another thing that I don't know if you've really addressed yet, that we're not going to do it live, is it's going to help us kind of not really niche down the podcast, but niche down the episodes and stay on topic. Live is perfectly fine, but both of us want to grow the podcast, and one of the down plays is we typically do get into a lot of questions, which is fine, and we've had a blast doing it. But to grow the podcast, we really need to focus our episodes down a little bit, and really target in on what exactly our topics are going to be about. And it's really hard to do that when we do it live. Do you have anything else to add to that, Derek?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of our biggest thing is we've been talking about it, like he's saying, to kind of give a little intro going into that. But like I mentioned, we've been doing this now. This is like our 16th episode, and we talked and we said, like, are we enjoying doing this? Do we like doing the podcast? Because when we started doing the podcast, it was kind of on a whim. I'd mentioned doing a podcast here and there, for a while. And then I never really got it going. I had some people that told me they were interested, but then when it came down to it, most people kind of at the last minute would flake out. And then when I kind of I don't even know if I mentioned it to Cody or he mentioned it to me, but we kind of just were talking about it. And it was kind of like just a thing we started doing in the background. It was like, I'm creating this gaming content and live streaming, talking about myself, already 3 days a week. Codations was over here doing his mobile content and all the stuff over here. So it's kind of like, let's just don't do any kind of plan. We don't do like we don't even, most of the time, like, just being honest with you guys, we don't even have topics written down at all. We just turn on the live button and we just fucking start talking. You might be like,
maybe 5 minutes prior to the live stream going live, we connect up and we're like, oh, hey, we're going to do a podcast tonight. Yep. Sounds good. Let's go in.
Yep. And some of you might be sitting there like, yeah, no shit. We can tell. But the thing is, I think, we've come to the conclusion that we do enjoy doing it. Right. We like doing the podcast. We think it's a nice little part of our content in general. And we like doing it together, I think. I say I think, but we do. We've talked about it. Right. But like Codation says, so then that leads us into the thing like, okay, if we like doing this, excuse me, I'm burping. If we like doing this and we're going to keep doing it, and we kind of have decided like, okay, we do like this and stuff, then we probably should put a little bit of work into it and not just hit the live button and just fucking wing it, basically.
Right.
And that's, but then when we started talking about doing all that, kind of going into what Codations was saying, it's just hard because, I already have 3 nights a week that like I'm committed that I got to show up at this time. I got to end at this time. I got, then I got video editor that I'm working with. I'm putting out YouTube videos. I'm putting out clips on YouTube Shorts. I'm putting out clips on, TikTok. So just the whole social media aspect of everything. Plus just, any side jobs and stuff that I have, that help support me being able to kind of do this full time, through the also use of, but just everything, it became just another day that was kind of the block of time was taken to where it's like, man, sometimes it would be nice if we could do this on this day. But the problem that comes when you're doing it live is for it to work live, you kind of got to have it as a set schedule. Because if we just randomly turn on the live stream and record it, whenever randomly, it just doesn't contribute to growth too well. People get used to something, be it like most of you guys block out your time specifically to come watch the podcast or to come watch one of our live streams or whatever. Right. So again, I think that's kind of why we got to the decision of doing it that, because what we're also doing, kind of going into the next part, is not only are we going away from live, and I will answer, I know there was a couple questions, I'll answer them in 1 second. But another thing that we went from going live is we are also scaling back the episodes. So instead of it doing weekly, we're going to do it bi-weekly and try that out. Because again, as Codations was saying, then that gives us more time to actually, figure out, we might have a couple topic ideas, but then we got to flesh that out. We got to, get links and stuff together, articles, information. That way it's a little bit more coherent. Because while just turning on the live stream and basically, for lack of a better word, what we've been doing is not as much a podcast as just chat and streams. While that works for live streams pretty well, as Codations was hinting at, it doesn't work as well for your actual podcast platforms. Most people actually tuning in to a podcast platform is kind of expecting a certain format. And we already have our live streams and our YouTube content. So, this wasn't supposed to just be something we add on those and it's just another live stream. We're specifically trying to target that podcast market space, if that makes sense. You have anything to add, Cody? Well, let me grab these comments real quick and then I'll let you add. Ryan says, either way, I need my finger back. I was hoping PAX was here. Hokage says, think you might still do it live every once in a while. I have no idea, Hokage, to be completely honest. I know now, there's podcasts I listen to and every once in a while they do a live episode. We've not really discussed that. It's just the weekly live shows that we've been doing just aren't working. And we got to move that. Now, outside of that, even just to kind of the thing I've thought about even doing is just doing random just chatting streams myself, where I sometimes do them on Sunday mornings. With this time freed up, maybe on Sundays, every once in a while I do my own personal just chatting stream. That's not a podcast. It's not topics. It's just, we can talk about topics. We can talk about whatever. But I have thought about adding some of those into my content already. But this is specifically, again, that's the problem is what we've kind of been doing to me is more of just chat and streams, which are cool, but what we're specifically trying to, at least for, again, I guess I can only speak to me, but I think we're on the same page, me and Codations. Yep. But I have live streams and stuff, so I'm specifically trying to target the podcast audience, which means we got to make the content work for the podcast audience, if that makes sense.
Right.
Ryan says, Codations, what'd you do with my finger? He says, if PAX don't have my finger, then Codations has taken it. Then Ryan says, what's your opinions on BLM, Black Lives Matter? And then he says, also, why does LGBTQ community get 1 month and War Heroes get 2 minutes of silence? I think that is stupid as fuck. I don't know that I want to touch either of those, to be honest, Ryan, at this particular moment. I'm not against it, but I just don't know that this particular stream is best suited to answer those. Ask me on one of my gaming live streams. I'll be happy to go into rants about that shit. I don't care. But here, I think we're going to keep it focused on kind of the announcement stuff. All right, go ahead, Codations.
I think, I think you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, a lot of it's going to come down to, like you said, time, obviously, right? Doing it live. The one thing that I will add to that live section is, the problem is that's a commitment, right? So even if you take out the opportunity for growth, for being live, it's a commitment that we're basically making to our community. You know what I mean? That, we have to be there at that time, at that day. It's a lot easier for our schedules, and, to be more flexible in the sense of it's not live. It's more something where, like I said, it's a Wednesday evening, I send you a message and I'm like, hey, I got an hour, to do, a segment of the podcast or to talk about topics or, let's narrow down some stuff, or, whatever. And it makes it a little bit more flexible for our schedules on top of, everything else, and the growth thing. But yeah, you're 100% right on, the fact that to have that steady growth, we need that consistency, And that's something that, that live streams really, really need, is that consistency with the schedule and everything. So again, that's just to reiterate, but that's pretty much the reason why we're switching from doing that. And then I'm actually really, really excited for us to niche down our content, a lot of people might have the question out there, for 2 weeks, right? Instead of doing a weekly, we're scaling it back to every 2 weeks, right? But kind of like what me and you talked about to begin with, don't let everybody be fooled. At the end of the day, we're basically scaling up our content too, though. You know what I mean? We're going to be niching down our videos, or our podcast, really discussing, in depth, that specific topic, like you said, doing some research, coming in with some facts, coming in with some, stereotypes, coming in with some, our personal opinions, that kind of stuff. We're really honing in on that information. And I think that's, sure, we are going down to, every 2 weeks versus 1 week, but we're also increasing our quality of content too,
Yeah, our goal is not to, our goal is not that we're trying to back out of doing it as much. Our goal is we're trying to raise the production value of each episode. So we're scaling back the frequency so that we can raise the production value of each episode. And kind of as Kodesh was saying, just to touch on that, because he said really niching down. And what he means by niching down is niching down per episode. The podcast will still cover a wide range of topics, I think. I think we're both interested in covering a wide range of topics. Sometimes the topics we talk about on the podcast now are crazy. It'll jump from, 1 week we're talking about living in VR worlds and game cities and stuff and everything being connected. Then 1 week we're talking about VR sex robots and stuff. Then the next week we're talking about politics. Right. That wide range of topics will still be there. It's just the individual episodes, instead of having 4 or 5 mini point, where we're talking for 10 or 15 minutes on each topic and we're kind of going through them quickly. We don't really dive deep into them. Each episode will just focus on one topic. We'll dive deeper, go into it a little more, share more of our thoughts, plan it out a bit better. And then, the next week could be an entirely different topic. So the podcast overall will still be a wide-ranging topic podcast. Right. Just to clarify that.
Right. The episodes are just going to be more niche down and more center focused on a individual topic, or, 1 or 2 topics, versus being, all over the place, like you said, instead of having 5 topics in one episode.
Yeah. And I think, and also the other reason we're doing every other week too, talking about that production value, is again, I guess I'm reiterating this because, Kodesh kind of hinted at it, but I want to make sure people don't understand. We're not trying to back out of things. We are trying to put more work into it and do better stuff with the podcast. For example, we both have plans to have people on the podcast that we can interview on different topics. I have a personal friend that I helped get into social media marketing and stuff a couple years ago that has blown up on TikTok. Now has, I forget how many, excuse me, I'm burping, how many followers, but he is, in the last 2 years, he's gone from a nobody to now making a full-time, like $100,000 a year income on TikTok. So I would love to have him on and us interview him on, how did you do this? What tips do you have for other people that might be wanting? I know we have a lot of other gamers and content creators in here. I know Ryan has done, YouTube videos and stuff. And so we want to try to do stuff that might actually also help other people, maybe like how to the best way to promote your stuff on TikTok to then push people to your YouTube or whatever. I know Codations has friends and stuff in the content creation business that are larger creators that we might possibly be able to get on and things like that. And not just content creation or gaming, but we just in general like to bring more guests on that might be an expert in the field that we're talking about on that episode, whether it's politics, whether it's gaming, whether it's content creation, whether it's VR sex brothels in Vegas, whatever, but be on what. So we do have a lot of really cool plans in the work, I think. So again, more saying that just because I don't want people to think we're trying to scale back on this stuff. We're actually trying to increase what we're doing with the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're basically just trying to increase the quality overall, like you said, the production value of the podcast, and pushing it back by a week is going to be able to help us. That's what's really nice, and then like you said, I think in general the expert things and interviews is going to be really cool too. I'm very curious to dive into some topics, to actually do research, on some stuff, and then really come forth, with, hey, this is kind of what I've, found. This is what I checked out. But also too, what I'm excited for, Dean, I don't know about you, but we haven't really talked much about this, but I'm really curious to get into when we get into topics, for me and you to not agree on everything, like that's going to be interesting, to get different opinions, and different, point of views from it, there might be a topic that comes up that we don't really, you might feel one way, I might feel another way, maybe an expert, that we read or facts that we find, say something different, and we kind of just roll with it. That's the whole, that's what's beauty of it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Hokage says like weeb shit. Possibly. I think we even mentioned one time, and this is not an offer, just making that clear. But I think we even mentioned like we could possibly have Hokage on and talk about anime one episode, you know, like finding people that are really passionate about a subject. And then, you know, sometimes it's us learning on the podcast from that person just as much as it would be you guys, you know, learning about that topic. So yeah, that's definitely a possibility. That's the kind of stuff we want to do. Again, that's not a extension or an offer because we're still planning everything, but Alex says the Hokage, you like anime? I didn't know that. I think he's being sarcastic, but and then Alex says brothel in Vegas. What's your guys' experience on that? Well, I'm using it because it was a topic we got into, I think, last podcast or 2 podcasts ago. And it was I'm just showing how our podcast range the topics crazily from one thing to another.
Right. Yeah. We're not talking about personal experiences.
Yeah. I haven't shared those yet. No.
I was waiting for it. I was like, I'm waiting for the plug here. Where's it at?
Just kidding.
Funny. But I mean, and I agree with you. And that's something too, you know, I mean, like, you know, anybody that's listening, right, that's not currently in our live streams, you know, anybody that's listening, that's out there that, you know, has any, like you said, sort of passion, you know, maybe, you know, a lot about something, you know, about a specific topic, anything like that. You know, obviously feel free to reach out to us, you know what I mean? Because I mean, we would love to, like you said, you know, talk about it, get together, you know, put together some sort of episode, you know, maybe we dive deep into a topic, we bring on anybody. It doesn't have to be somebody, you know, that's, you know, went to, you know, to 4 years of college, you know, in a specific topic. It's just anybody that, you know, knows a lot about something, you know, that we find interesting or that we would like to feature on the show. And, you know, what would also be kind of cool too, D, which again, we'll talk more about this later, but it might be cool for us to open up a, you know, some sort of contact form or something, you know what I mean? Like somewhere, you know, maybe like a landing page, you know what I mean? Or something, you know, that we open up that would be specifically designed for the podcast, you know, that all it is like a, you know, kind of like a people read, you know, put whatever they want, you know, suggestions in there or something, you know what I mean? And it could be something that maybe we and you just funnel through there every now and then, you know, and read some of the stuff, you know, whether it's a person that says, hey, you know, or a Hokage, it's like, hey, you know, I would love to come on and do something about anime. You know, I know a lot about anime or something. Maybe we can do an anime, you know, episode, or, you know, another person, like you said, for YouTube content, or, you know, I don't know. Hell, I mean, I'm interested in anything. I mean, grocery store manager, you know, wants to come in and talk about prices on food and what he thinks. I don't know. I mean, I'm up for whatever, you know?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I like learning about anything, to be honest. I'm always diving into some kind of new topic and trying to absorb information on it. So yeah, right. I totally get you there. And I will say, you know, just again, because I know we do, you know, at least according to analytics, have some listeners and stuff that listen on Spotify and Apple and stuff. You know, if you do go to my website, omgitsderek.com, there is a contact form on there. It's not specifically for the podcast, but right. Until we might get something set up for that specifically, you can contact me directly from my website at any time. It'll go, you know, via email, or, you know, also you can find any of my social medias from my website, which would then allow you to reach out to me. I think my DMs are open on every platform. I'm not famous enough yet to have them turned off. Alex neither am I. Alex has never personal experience. It's a friend. Exactly. So you guys, I had this friend, and it's a weird story, but you know, I'm asking for a friend.
I'm asking for a friend, you know, he's trying to figure out where, you know, Ryan's finger is, but I'm not really sure what the story is behind it. But again, this is just a friend. This isn't me personally.
So, and I think, I think that's kind of everything. Did we miss anything? I mean, that's kind of the plans. I don't know if anybody has questions, if anybody has thoughts, if anybody has feedback, if anybody just wants to say, I fucking hate your guts because I look forward to this every Sunday and you're taking it away. Fucking say it, dude. But I will say, you know, again, we don't have a lot planned for tonight. I mean, basically this is what we had planned for the night, was just announcing this. And mainly just because, you know, well, and I can only speak for myself, but I'm assuming Kodesh same way, is I just don't like to leave people hanging. So we didn't want to just not do a last live show for the podcast and like explain to you guys what was going on. We didn't want to just start doing them, you know, and they're showing up on Spotify and Apple still, but you guys have no idea what the fuck's going on, since, you know, you guys are the regulars here chatting with us, talking to us, sharing stuff, all of that.
Right.
So
Oh yeah. No, and I respect that. And like I said, and that's kind of the way I felt too. You know, I mean, obviously just coming on here, 45 minutes, hour, just pretty much talking and, with the chat, answering any questions they had. And we, like I said, I mean, our goal for tonight's podcast was at least just to do one last, live stream, reach out to whoever is here. Do an explanation, and then, like I said, tell them exactly what our plans are going forward. So hopefully they can tune in on other services and platforms. I mean, that's our goal.
Yeah, and that's an important point, just to think that, we don't, if you guys like the podcast, I honestly, like, I'm assuming you must, because most of you that are in here are regulars to the podcast. And, I know some of it's probably just trying to support myself or Codations because you like us and you like, our content, which we appreciate. But if you do like the podcast and stuff, I really think it's going to get better than what it currently is. So make sure you find it on another platform. We are on, I don't know if you guys are even aware of this, but every week it goes live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the audio version. So you will still be able to find it on those platforms. If you search OMG It's Derek, it'll come up. It's easy to find. I've looked it up on different phones to make sure it's all working several times. So you should easily be able to find it on any of those platforms. Spider says hello. Princess says hello. Hey, Spider. Hey, Princess. Alex says, I think both your wives don't like camera, but would be fun to have their views on the other side of a content creator. Actually, my wife doesn't mind the camera personally. I don't know Codation's wife, but me and the wife are actually doing I don't know if you guys are unfamiliar. Every week on my YouTube channel, there's like we've been doing a recap of my live stream. I also do, tutorials and reviews of products when I buy them or when I find out how to do something cool in OBS or whatever. But then also every week, I don't know if people realize it, but I throw up a video game video, a gameplay video of a game that I've been playing off stream. So like currently that's been The Medium, which is a horror game. I don't know if you guys are even aware that happens, but on my YouTube channel, there's also a video once a week of a game that I'm not playing on stream. Me and the wife are currently doing one. I don't know when it'll come out because honestly, when I'm playing games off stream, I just record them because in my mind, I try to turn everything into fucking content.
Right.
So I record them and just save them in parts. And then, whenever I feel like releasing that particular, game, I just do it. That way one's coming out once a week. But we're currently doing a playthrough of Stardew Valley, and it looks like my live streams. It's me sitting here and my wife sitting next to me, and she's on the laptop next to me, and we're playing Stardew Valley. So she has no issue being on camera, and I'm sure at some point you guys will see her in gaming videos. Probably not my live streams, but in those gaming videos that, the one that comes out once a week that is off stream.
Gotcha. Yeah, no,
because of the kid.
My wife is completely camera shy. She does not want to be on camera whatsoever. But I do really like that idea, though. I mean, I think for a podcast episode, I think it would be sweet to get some sort of interview with our wives, about talking about the other side of or being married to a content creator. You know what I mean? And then just seeing what their point of view is from their perspective. So. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And to specifically, answer that. I mean, because that was just kind of basically saying that my wife doesn't mind being on camera. I mean, she would probably be down for that.
Right. Yep.
And again, I mean, the podcast going forward will not be video anyways. So they might definitely be down for that because they would be audio only anyways.
Exactly. Yep. And mine wouldn't. I guarantee mine wouldn't care either for just audio. She'd be fine with that. She just doesn't want to be on camera.
I think I already responded, but if not, Princess says hello. Hello, Princess. How are you doing tonight? I know I got spiders.
In the house.
Princess. Hokage says, wonder if SCP-049 gonna show up. He's hit or miss. He's in some, not in some. I sometimes I wonder if I scare him off because I'm always like, I don't know what to say about your SCP stuff in the chat. But Alex says, or at least, oh yeah, I read that. Spider says, Ryan says, I'll tell Derek's wife that he is mine. Princess says, I'm good. Hope y'all are good. We are. For those that came in, we're not going to go through everything again, but we just had like 3 people just come in the chat that haven't been in here. Right. But we basically announced tonight that we are no longer doing the podcast live on Sunday nights. We are still doing the podcast. It is moving to every other week. and it will only be on podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the podcast platforms. Not because of anything bad. We're actually hoping to do more with the podcast, do higher quality production episodes, do more interviews with experts in different categories and stuff, things like that. So it's not a bad thing. It might be a bad thing if you love watching it live, but overall we think it's a good move and it's a positive thing, and it's not us trying to quit. We're actually trying to make the podcast better and more specifically podcasty instead of a just chatting stream.
Podcasty.
I mean, I don't know the word to use to explain it.
We're trying to make the podcast more podcast-like. There we go. So like, it's just, we're trying to manifest it better for our schedules, also be able to increase the production and value. And then, yeah, I mean, just pretty much grow it. So yeah, we're not shabbing out on, trying to do it as much as we are just trying to narrow it and, specifically turn it into a podcast instead of a live stream. So
yeah, to hopefully bring in other audiences to our content and stuff.
Correct. Yep. Exactly. Yep. And
Brian says, I miss
really quick.
Go ahead.
For anybody else in there too. Topics will not change. Obviously the podcast will still be a random topic, random thought podcast. The individual episodes, we are going to narrow the topics down for those episodes. So just keep that in mind. So one episode might be all centered around content creation. Another episode could be about art. The next episode could be about technology. It really just all depends. We're all over the place. But yeah, I mean, so don't worry about the content going away or changing. That's still going to be the same.
Yep. Ryan says, when I can my car, I'll have a podcast every day for a year. Ha. When you get your car, you'll have a podcast. Maybe retype that one out, Ryan. Richard says, hey, Richard, how you doing? Pretty says, art. Kage says, think you might go back to what you were doing before if this doesn't work out, like your Twitch exclusivity stuff. Possible. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of the thing, the biggest thing. And again, let me say, if you're sticking around through all of the changes that, I know I can only speak because I know a lot of you, Alex is from Codation Stuff. I know a lot of you have been watching my content for the last little while, and I know I change things here or there, try things. All I can say is thank you for sticking around. Unfortunately, when you're newer content creators, you kind of got to test things. You got to try different things. You got to change stuff out to find out what's working. Like, I love fucking streaming to 5 of you. It doesn't bother me to stream to 5 to you. And I have no interest in necessarily being famous. I have no interest in having 1 million people watching me outside the fact that I want to make a living from making content. So I at least have to do enough to get to that point, if that makes sense.
Right.
So yes, I changed things. So it could come back. Like I said, I thought about introducing Hokage some just of my own, just chatting streams, where I can just have time to hang out, because sometimes even in games, you do get kind of focused playing the game. So that's all stuff I'm down to try, willing to try. If we change this and it doesn't work, maybe we go back to live, but maybe it's not on a specific night. Maybe it's just me and Codations randomly do a just chatting stream together or something. I don't know. We're just trying things out. So I couldn't tell you one way or the other, to be honest.
Right. I think there's a lot of room. I mean, anybody that's out there that's curious, we've got a lot of room for opportunity. I mean, I think, starting out, we've been doing this every week, every Sunday. We're going to be switching it to, bi-weekly, no live streams, no video stuff. But then, who knows? Like you said, I mean, the opportunities are open for anything. I mean, there could be another time where we decide, we kind of missed the live stream aspect. We kind of missed this, maybe we started back up, another time. I mean, so again, just, it's all over the board. But just for now, this is the new schedule going forward. So that's pretty much what we just wanted to discuss.
Yep. Ryan says, I got I can't pronounce that word. Dyslexia? Is that right? Yeah. I got dyslexia. Leave me alone. I got pronunciation issues. Richard says, LOL, I love your lives. You're so funny. Yo, thanks, Richard. I appreciate that, man. Ryan says, remember that all of you, when Derek reaches a mill, guess who still gets priority? Hokage.
Codations?
No.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Princess. I guess Ryan too. Princess
always gets priority. I'm in the middle of sentence of my live stream on Friday, and all of a sudden Princess comes in, says something, and then I instantly just bust out, don't say anything, and then bust out into just calling her name out in the chat. Yep, she gets priority.
Ryan says, Derek, I need a chair. I broke mine. Feels bad, man. Yo, who's hitting me with jumping jacks and stuff? Guys, this podcast night. Come on. I'm refunding them. No channel points. I'm going to have just a gap in the audio where for the podcast where I'm doing jumping jacks and no one listened to this. They're like, what happened to everything? I refunded your points, Spider. Streams. Those are for stream nights, not podcast nights.
That's hilarious, dude.
Princess says, I need to change my name to Princess because people get confused. LOL. Let them get confused.
Yeah. Yep. You just
Hokage says
it's one of those if you know type of things, Princess. And that's just the way it is.
Hokage says, and I like the newest one though. Yeah, I was just giving Ryan a hard time because I knew he wanted me to say him. Alex says, do you still have the scare me stuff on? It's not on. That only comes on once a game starts. It has to auto detect a game in order to even work. It doesn't just work without like a thing that it's capturing, because it has to have like the window that it can manipulate and things. So that thing doesn't even work unless you're actually in a game. Princess says, I'll change it to Princess Sugar Teats. There you go. Spider gives me angry face. I'm sorry, Spider. Podcast nights are a little different. They're not like a normal stream. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. That's everything. That's it's it's whatevs. That's what it is. Oh, sorry, I was like reading. I like started saying that, and then I started reading Alex's post, and then I kind of just forgot what the hell I was even talking about. Alex says, nice, thanks God. In my opinion, it's annoying, but that's me. Well, it's not as bad now that, like, because the first night I was gifting so many, there was a lot of them. Now it's not that bad. I think, like, on the last stream, there was, like, 2 or 3. Hokage says, and doesn't some of it only work in Valheim? Yes. Some of it only work. Like, you have different things set up for different games. So, like, you got to set up one for each game or whatever. Alex says, yeah, first 2 hour of the night. Gosh. Yeah, well, like I said, this last live stream, I think we had, like, 2 or 3 total. I mean, because you got to remember, people either have to be a Twitch sub to get their free crates, or they got to buy them at this point. So you don't have as much happening. So, but yeah, that's the announcement, guys. I don't know what Codation's plan is. I'm happy to stick around and chit chat for, 15, 20 minutes or so if people want to. If Codation's got to go, he can go or whatever. Unless we missed anything or whatever. But if you guys want to chat, I'm happy to stick around and chat for like 15, 20 minutes since this is a super short episode, or we call it here. Whatever you guys want to do, chat.
I mean, I'm up for whatever. I mean, as always, I mean, it is only 7:46 my time, so I still got time as well if anybody wants to chat and talk for 15 minutes.
Hokage says anime. What would have been funnier, Hokage, is if you would have typed, my time has come.
Right.
So what do you guys think about anime?
We love anime. It's the best. No, but like I said, I mean, as always, I've always got video shit and stuff to do that I could be diving into and taking that up. So yeah, I mean, I'm up for whatever. I mean, if anybody has got anything to put in the chat and stuff, since Hokage mentioned anime, I have not had a chance to dive into any animes that you guys recommended, to be honest with you. I did get some suggestions on Netflix though, so I don't know if any of those are good or not. None of them.
Just follow the list me and Hokage already gave you. Start there whenever
just stick
you get
to
time.
that.
Yeah. I almost started because I saw Netflix added it's the anime series you've talked about several times, Dot Hack Sign or whatever, or well, the one you talking about where they're in the video game world. What's it called? Why am I missing the? It's the one you watch, Codations, where they're in the video game world.
The Sword Art Online.
Yeah. Sword Art Online. Yeah, that's on Netflix, I guess, now. And I almost saw it, so I was almost going to watch it. But
yeah, that's how I watched it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was. I mean, I didn't watch it on Netflix, but
I guess gotcha.
Netflix is because it used to be that Hulu's like anime selection was way better than Netflix's, but it seems like Netflix is starting to put some more into it. Okay, it says SAO. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. No, I haven't. Yeah, I didn't watch it at all before it was on Netflix. I only watched it on Netflix. But no, some of the ones that they're suggesting on there are popular ones, but just ones that I've never been suggested to. So I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, it says it has been on Netflix for a long time. Yeah, like I said, I just I mean, again, I think I mentioned this to you. We were talking in a stream the other day, but it has been a long time since I have watched anime. I don't watch it anymore.
Right.
Personally. I'm not against it. I don't like, literally, like, I just say this all the time, but in the last 2 weeks, I've not watched anything on TV outside of some Twitch live streams. Most of my off time, like, I'm either in like Pax's stream or just, some other streamers just trying to network, or, also that's the content I consume, since that's also what I do, like looking for, things people are doing in their streams that I might be able to add to mine, things like that. So I really don't watch any normal TV.
Just showing your support in general in the community is also big too,
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and outside of that, I mean, I get like an hour or two, each night to do that, like when I'm just sitting in with the wife in the living room. And outside of that, the TV don't come on in our house. Just ain't got no time. I'd love to watch. There's like been several animes that I'm like, man, that looks good, but I just don't got the time. It's content creation's a lot of fucking work, guys. If you ever think about getting into it, be prepared, because it's way more work than you would ever fucking think so. I
think a side note too to that 2D would be, depends on what they're, how much content they're creating and what their goals are. I mean, if you're looking to not really, if you're not looking to grow,
if you're just doing it for fun, that's different.
Right. Then you just make content whenever the hell you want to make content and call it a day. You know what I mean? Versus me and you, who are, steadily making content on a constant schedule. Yeah, it's a shit ton of work.
Yep. For sure. Alex says, that's what I'm telling Cody every time. He. Wait, what? That it's a lot of work?
That's a lot of work. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, especially in Cody's case, where he is working a full-time job right now on top of it. I mean, I remember when I was doing that and putting out my stream. When I was working full-time, streaming 3 nights a week, putting out YouTube videos. That like, my time has freed up a touch more recently now that I'm doing this full-time. But it's still fucking crazy, because you just find, like, when it's kind of your baby and you're trying to grow it to like a business, and it becomes like that. And so then it kind of becomes this thing that, like, you're trying to grow and make successful. Like, you just end up finding more shit to do when you have any amount of free time open up. You fill it right back up with, like, oh, here's something else I could be doing to possibly make myself grow faster. Alex says, yeah, exactly. Full-time job, kid, all that, and want to do daily content. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yep.
But,
dude, it's fucking tough, man. And then, like I said, and that's, and it's even crazier when you're doing nothing but gaming content, like, it's for me specifically, because, games drop in updates. You know what I mean? You want to record that, update right away. You want to be first on the platform. You want to drop it immediately. You know what I mean? And so you're constantly you've got that stuff popping in on top of your daily content. It's a lot of work, man. You got to come up with notes. You got to come up with topics, per video. You know what I mean? I don't know a whole lot of people that are just creating gaming videos, you know what I mean, that have no, you know what I mean? I'm talking about, like, for like mobile gaming, you know what I mean, for my niche, that are just putting out videos of them just playing the game. You know what I mean? Like, unless if it's got funny something to it or whatever, that's just not a thing. Normally there's some type of guides or tutorials. So you're putting in a lot of work and time generating the resources or notes for that specific topic. Yeah, dude, it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work.
And just to clarify, I'm not complaining, because sometimes I feel like I'm complaining when I talk about this stuff on the stream and stuff. I'm not complaining. I love doing it. That's part of the problem. That's what I meant. Like, when it becomes when you also love, like, having a business and growing a business, and you love making content, like, you love like, it's just easy to get wrapped up in it, and it just kind of become everything.
Right. Yep.
So it's not that I'm complaining. It's just like, because I don't have to work as hard as I do. I mean, I could put out less TikTok videos. I could put out less weekly videos. I love doing it. But I'm just more stating the obvious that if you're trying to become a content creator where you actually are going to make a living from it, you're probably going to work more than you do at a normal job. So just be prepared for that.
Yep.
Spider says, I got to go. Have a good night, Spider. Thanks for stopping in, dude. Good to see you. Hope I see you Tuesday, where we'll be fighting the 5th and final boss in Valheim.
Very cool.
Pumped for that.
But you're officially ahead of me in Valheim. I have not killed the 4th boss. So you're ahead of me on that note. But
yeah, I think I have everything crafted.
Play, my man.
I don't know that I have to I'm just playing on stream. I know this next. I'm trying to be honest. We just did the last boss this last stream when we're doing we kind of jump started into doing the bosses and stuff because I really think this next Saturday we're doing Grand Theft Auto roleplay. For those that might not know, if you're interested in role playing stuff, we're trying it out this Saturday coming up. Anybody in the community is welcome to join us. What we're doing for the community game night, but I have a feeling that I'm really going to like it, and I have a feeling that it may pull me away from Valheim. So just being honest. Yeah. Not that I won't play Valheim at all anymore, but once we beat the 5th boss anyways, all there's really left to do is basically, build out our base some more and stuff on the server, because we got pretty much max gear. I have the materials, I think, to make the padded shit, like the best armor. I have the materials to make the best weapons. We had a couple that we just need a couple more mats and we can do that. So literally all we're gonna have left anyways is just base building and maybe RPing a bit on there. But I'm super excited for GTA RP.
Oh yeah, very cool.
Alex says, what about the 3rd boss, Cody? Did you beat Bone Mass already?
Nope.
Oh, nope. You said officially caught up. You didn't beat the last one. That was the 4th one we just beat. We beat the 3rd one a while ago. Huh?
No, I was saying no. Oh, I guess I did say caught up to me. I guess I shouldn't say that. Yeah, because you technically beat me since you beat Bone Mass. Yep. I meant I was up to Bone Mass. I was gonna beat him, and then I think it was Alex and you and a bunch of other people from the community beat Bone Mass when I wasn't on, and then I can't beat Bone Mass solo, and then I just literally haven't invested time. You stream a lot more than I do, so you play a lot more than I do compared to what I get a chance to do.
Yeah, well, it was just me and Pax that did Bone Mass. We really haven't played that much with Alex. This last stream was one of the first times I've really gotten to play with Alex, because he's on the same time as you, so he don't get on till later. So typically only my, most stream nights, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I end at 8 my time, so 7 your time. But on Saturdays I go till 10 my time. So I think he was able to jump in this Saturday one and help us out. So
yep.
Alex says, got some RP stuff waiting for you, Derek. You mean for Valheim or for Grand Theft Auto? Hokage says, and can you do some clan wars if more people join back in? You mean in Valheim? Yeah, I'm totally down for that. The plan is, what I think the plan is for Valheim, if we keep playing it, which, I'm not against. I'm just saying it probably won't, once we beat the boss, it probably won't be in every stream game. I'm sure I'll still play it occasionally for a while still. It just won't be in every stream game. Unless I absolutely fall in love with GTA RP to where I just can't fucking put it down. But I think the plan is, once we do that and we kind of make sure, I know Alex, Codations I'm not too worried about because he doesn't get on that much anyways. But I think the plan is to actually open up the server live and let just random people be able to find it and join in and see what starts happening.
Right. Oh yeah.
And then kind of do more of RP on it, trying to find other people and, either fucking with them or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be fun. Like I said, opening it up to do the open public would be pretty cool to check to dive into something like that. I mean, You'd have to pretty much just be, we'd have to be upfront, with everything, and you'd have to pretty much just explain that, this is this, and that way, because if you start regulating stuff, then the downside is then you're going to be finding a lot of your nights, you spending half your game time, your stream time regulating shit, and trying to fix stuff, that people had messed up or grieved.
I figured
there's no mod, there's nothing.
yeah, that's how it would be. What I would do is, before we make it public, I'd give everybody a chance, basically say, listen, you got 1 week and we're making this public, so finish your base, finish whatever you want to finish. The day before, I'm going to download the map where it's at, make a backup of it, and then we're opening it. Then if everything gets destroyed and at some point we want to reset everything back to kind of when everybody's bases were built nice and all that, we would be able to do that. We would have a backup of the map at that point. But then, yes, it would just be a fucking free-for-all and see what the fuck happens.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I know for a fact, too, once you do that point and you do get a backup of it, everybody gets their base built, I know for a fact that I would like a copy of that file, because just in general, from the stuff that me and Alex have built, do you know what I mean, you know, on that server, and we'll continue to build, like, it's gonna be pretty freaking sweet, you know what I mean? So we'd love to be able to just go back to it, you know, and view it later, you know, which would be cool.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And I normally make, I mean, we normally do that with all the servers. I have backups and offer it to, so just like even the Minecraft server is down right now because we've been doing the Valheim server, but I do have backups of that map if anybody needs it personal.
You still have my badass house that I built
in
Minecraft world?
I keep all those backups of all that stuff. And I mean, I'm sure at some point we'll turn that server back on. Again, my love would be, you know, one of the first things I'm going to do, Princess says Minecraft is down. The server is down right now, yes. Mainly because I can't afford to pay for both. Being completely honest, I just can't right now. But at some point, I think I've mentioned it, I would love to get a dedicated server that I can install multiple game servers on for different games. Right. You know, that we would then have Valheim on that server, a Minecraft server on that server, and instead of like buying a whole bunch of different game servers. Right. But you know, I don't. So when we get done with Valheim, you know, I'll probably throw back up the Minecraft server. Like I'll kind of switch it. So, but I'm just pointing out that if at any time you know, again, I wish I could keep them all up 24/7. I just, you know, but each game server costs like $15 a month, which is not a lot, but you know,
well,
it
adds up though. I mean, it
adds up.
You start doing multiple games, you start keeping them running, you know what I mean? You know, you end up having one person on, you know, one of the servers that, you know, for the most time, and it's like, you know, might as well save the 15.
Well, and that was the thing. I mean, like when I checked like the Minecraft logs, the only person that had been on in any amount of time was Princess. Nobody else had been on the server for fucking like 2 months. Month and a half, something like that.
I haven't been on that Minecraft server in a long time, and that's just because, I mean, yeah, shit got busy in other games, and
just other games and
back into it. But dude, I built a hell of a fucking house there, dude. I completely forgot. Oh man, that's awesome.
So again, I keep the backups to that. So like, if we ever, you know, if we all start getting back into Minecraft, you know, I'll just throw back in that map. Like, well, you know, it'd basically be like we start where we left off. But I'm just more pointing out that if anybody ever needs or wants a copy of the map, I'm happy to give it to you at any time. Just reach out. I do back up all that shit. So
perfect.
When we do those servers. I mean, I have server backups from games I've played, you know, 5 years ago where I had a dedicated server for it. That like they probably would still work if somebody loaded it up, But again, so I think Princess says I win in your house, Codations, creepy smile.
The real question is, Princess, did you lay on the bed at all?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Creepy smile right back at you.
But yeah, a dedicated server would cost me about $50 a month. So like as soon as I'm able to get there, that's kind of the plan. Is get a dedicated server and then just install, you know, all the different game servers onto that dedicated server and run it.
Yep. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Nope, I agree with you.
So, and who knows? Maybe at some point Codation wants his own servers and we can go like half and half on a dedicated server or something. But that's the plan. I don't have it right now. If I was still working full time, I'd probably do it tomorrow. But until I'm making a little bit more income, I gotta watch the dollars.
Yeah. Or maybe you can just add a dono link or something or whatever that goes directly to supporting servers. Like if you know, a person really was deep into, you know, Minecraft or really deep into something, you know, maybe they can just, you know, subscribe to that specific, you know, or use that specific link or whatever, you know, you could set up, you know, so then, you know, on your end, you know, that person and that person's dono or whatever, you know, they want to go so specifically to support that server. I mean, that could be something later on down the line too.
Yeah, I don't know if we would. I guess if anybody would express interest to that, like if anybody does want to help pay for like a dedicated server that we can have all these different game servers on, like I guess I would say at this point, hit me up. And if there is enough interest, I'm happy to do something like that. You know, right. I mean, I'm willing to keep throwing in, you know, I mean, even, you know, $20 a month towards it or something. So if we can come up with the other like $30 a month or whatever. I mean, I don't even know the exact cost of a dedicated server. I mean, I don't think we need anything crazy with it, like since we don't have a ton of people getting on. But right. You know, if anybody is interested in that, I guess just let me know and we can figure something out like that where we you know, would do something specifically for a server. But if not, no worries either. Sure. I'll keep paying for the one at a time and switch it to whatever game we're playing. And like I said, I do keep backups. anybody's always welcome to ping me and ask for a copy of the backup, and I will get it to you. I'm happy to do so.
Perfect.
All right. All right. Chat dying down a little bit. I don't see no one else chatting. Codations, anything else you want to talk about or anything tonight, or?
Nope. I'm good, man. I'm ready to get up out of here, get some video stuff recorded, get some chilling, hanging out with the wife and stuff, and then heading off to bed tonight. So
Yep. I'm excited. And one thing we got to figure out real quick before we get off here, though, is you know, I made that Discord channel for us to be able to share like these oh shit, hold on. I'm accidentally clicking X on OBS. It almost closed everything. I made it, but like I said in there, I don't know if you read it or not. I don't know if you actually pay attention.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
but like, dude, I wish we like maybe we just got to use Evernote for the podcast or something. I don't know.
The only other thing that I was suggesting, like, which I don't know how well you or how much you know about Discord, but the only thing I was suggesting that we could do if we still wanted to use Discord is we could create a separate Discord, like not one with OMG, nothing else. And the reason why I say,
because then you can make like different channels for like the topics of
right. We could make different categories, different channels, and then, you know, underneath those channels you could have different, you know, sub stuff. You know what I mean? Like we could potentially do something.
Yeah, that sounds
nothing else.
Yeah, that sounds cool, but I feel like there has to be a way to get OneNote to work, because I just feel like that's such a better fucking option, man. Because like I said, my biggest problem is like even like most of the time when I'm doing stuff like that, like what I would be doing like for podcast stuff, I'm doing it on my phone at the gym. Like that's my time to go through articles, read things. I'm listening to my own podcast, things like that.
Right.
So like to Discord, like to have to take a screenshot of what I'm reading, try to then put, like I'd have to take screenshots of a web page, scroll down a little bit, screenshot, scroll down a little bit, it just seems like it would be better where I can where I have like the OneNote app or something where I can literally like select exactly what I want to share. I just feel like something like that offers. So I don't know what to figure it out, but yeah, I get what you're saying, and that is an option.
The OneNote thing would work. The only shitty part is it's just stupid that because I'm in an organization and you're on a personal, like, you know, account, it does not allow you the ability to open it up in the stupid software. You have to use the web browser version, which is completely completely pointless.
It makes the whole thing for OneNote is just to kind of be able to open up anything or to save like anything on any device or whatever into like a note doc.
Right. I mean, there's another free option that I know that I've used a handful, and it's really nice. Would be like something like Asana is what it's called. But it's basically
I use it with my editor.
They have an app. I was going to say they've got an app, and we could do something like that where it's free, and we could, you know, we both can I've got an account already. If you had an account, we just make a team basically, and then we can share everything, put everything in there, make comments on stuff, do whatever we want. I mean, that's another.
Yeah, that might be another
way another way we could organize it that way too, because then you do have an app on your phone. You know what I mean? And you can use it pretty much just like you would, you know, OneNote. It's just Asana is what it would be, and you could also have a web browser version of that too. So if you were somewhere and you didn't have your phone, you could also access it. So.
Yeah, that could be an option. I didn't think of Asana. I mean, I use that for just tracking our videos with my editor, but.
Yep.
That makes sense.
There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. I've used that a lot, and I've also used Trello. That's another one that's very similar.
Yeah, I didn't care for Trello as much. I liked Asana better personally.
Yeah, I do too. So that's why I suggested that one first.
yeah. So I know Evernote's free too. I mean, they have free version. The only thing that free version does is limit you to how many devices you can use it on.
Okay.
So like you can use on like you can only use on like 2 devices or something like that.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to do that too, I can do that. I mean, I've used Evernote in the past, so I mean, I would.
Yeah, that's what I used before I switched to OneNote, and I pretty much, I mean, I like OneNote. I've liked it since I've switched from Evernote to that up until this point. Now I fucking hate OneNote, and now I'm pissed that I switched from Evernote just because of this one fucking issue. It's just so dumb that we can't, like, okay, I get like, but even like me, I should, like, if you're an organization, I feel like I should be able to share my notebook to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you ever try that thing that I DM'd you on the Discord?
Yep.
Like where you go to OneDrive and go to the share or the Office.
I've done both. Yeah, I did both. I even went to SharePoint. You know, the site behind OneDrive and everything, and I still couldn't get it to allow me to open it back up into the app version, which was really dumb. And then, like I said, I did it with like 4 different people. like that were in my organization, and it all worked.
And
just
they could open it right
with
up
a person. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Basically as soon as they made a notebook, they shared it with me. I clicked on it, and then it did open in the browser the first time, but then that big button is across there that says open this up into, the application. Once you do that, then it says there's a checkbox that says every single time. And then I clicked every single time. And then it loaded into it right away. So, and that was with 4 different people from my organization. So I don't know why that is. I don't know if there's like a global. What's ironic is I'm actually the Outlook admin, not the Outlook admin, the 365 admin at my work. Nobody else manages it but me. So I mean, if there's like a global setting or something, maybe that I could, flip on or turn on or something, that then would allow me to, do that. Then I'd be more than willing to do that. Maybe there is. I didn't look too deep into the admin side of things or settings. I just kept on running into Google was kept on telling me that it was because of the
business versus
organization
personal
level. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Business versus personal basically is what it was. Yep. Basically, for privacy and security reasons, they don't intertwine that way.
Makes sense. So.
But
all right, brother. Well, we'll figure it out at some point. We'll, like I said, we can do maybe Discord or Asana, or we'll figure it out. But we'll have to get a roll on that sometime this week, and that way we can start doing whatever the fuck we need to do. But
yes, sir.
All right, chat. Hokage says, "See ya, Hokage. Hope you have a good night." Princess, anyone else still in here? Ryan, Banana. I know there's a couple of you guys in here. Spider, I think, already left. Alex, if you're still in here, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys understand the changes. I think you guys will like it. So make sure you find us on Spotify, on fucking Apple Podcasts, wherever, because the podcast will still be happening. Just won't be live on Twitch, YouTube, etc. So make sure you find it wherever you listen to podcasts. We love your faces. We'll see you guys on the next one. Later, nerds.
Later.